In today's video, I want to help you understand how to flip real estate contracts step by step. By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear understanding of how to flip real estate contracts step by step. You'll learn how to find motivated sellers, negotiate contracts, and to find buyers to be able to turn around and flip these efficiently and effectively. Have you ever wondered how some real estate investors make money in real estate without ever even owning a piece of property? Curious about the strategies they use to make money quickly with very little risk involved? Well, stick with me as we dive in and first understand what it means to flip real estate contracts. Next, I'll go through the vital elements when it comes to flipping real estate contracts. And finally, go through step by step what you need to do. If you're ready, let's go. So what does it mean to flip a real estate contract? First off, we probably all need to be on the same page of what a contract is in real estate. It's that 10 to 12 page legal binding document that details out the specifics between what a buyer and a seller agree on when it comes to a piece of property or an asset. Such things as purchase price, closing dates, rights and responsibilities, inspections, furnitures, and a ton more stuff. Now, in order to flip a contract, all of those things have to be agreed upon and signed. And there could be multiple addendums attached to the real estate contract, but as long as everything is agreed upon and signed, that document is then now ready to be flipped. But there's one important aspect that has to happen right from the get-go, especially when it's signed, and it's this. When you put your name on a real estate contract, I always utilize my name and or assigns. By adding on that verbiage and or assigns, I am able to assign that contract to anybody else or add somebody else onto that contract. I always do that regardless if I'm going to flip the contract or not. And here's why. Because a lot of times when I buy a piece of property, I get it in my name because a lot of times the loan is going to be under my name if I'm getting a loan and under my assets and my income. However, I always want to assign that contract to an LLC. I don't like to hold pieces of property in my own name, but I'll assign them to an LLC, a limited liability company that allows me to limit the liability I have on that piece of property so it's not always owned under my name. So making sure that you have and or assigns that verbiage in a contract is going to be really important. Now, flipping contracts in real estate isn't a new idea, and it's something, honestly, that if more people understood how to do it, they could be making really good money. And it requires little to no money out of your pocket. But understanding the step-by-step process is what's going to help you be successful when it comes to flipping real estate contracts, also known as wholesaling. Now, in order to get a real estate contract signed and in a place where you can actually flip it, there are certain elements that have to be in place. Probably the very most important thing in order to flip a real estate contract is the price. And it has to be a really good price below market value in order to be able to flip it. Now you say, why would that have to be so important? I think everybody knows the answer to that. In order to flip a contract, nobody's going to want to buy a contract from you when it's at market price, when they can get it anywhere else, right? You've got to be able to find and negotiate at a very good price. And in order to find a good price, there's two elements that you need to look at when you're looking for properties that you can turn around and flip the contract. And that is either finding a distressed seller or a distressed piece of property. Now, a distressed seller is somebody who might be going through a challenging situation. They might be going through a divorce. They need to sell a piece of property. They need to move. And so being able to be a solution for them when they need to move that piece of property quickly could absolutely be something that benefits both parties. And obviously a distressed property is one that might be a little bit run down. The yard might not look good. There might need some things that need to be fixed. And that all depends on you as an investor. If you want to flip that contract quickly, you could maybe go in and just fix a couple of things to maybe elevate the look of the property and the aesthetics of the property pretty quickly. So here are the steps for being able to flip a real estate contract right away. Number one is to find the deal. Now, there's a lot of places where you can find deals on properties, and here's a few things that I use. I utilize real estate agents. Sometimes people will say, I don't use real estate agents because I can never find good deals. I've found good deals utilizing real estate agents. When I tell them what I'm looking for, a lot of times they will help me find those things. I'll also utilize Zillow. I will put in their filters that help me find exactly what I'm looking for. But one of the best ways to find properties at a really good price that you can turn around and flip the real estate contract is off-market software. This is going to help you find off-market properties that maybe others don't have access to. And a lot of these softwares will cost money, but I promise it is worth it. One that I really love is RealFlow. Another one that I've seen success with is Privy. You can find and investigate whatever software you want, but having a software that helps you find off-market property is going to be vital for your success in flipping contracts. Number 2 is determine the property value. There's a ton of websites out there where you can go and help you understand what is the current value of the piece of property that you're looking at. And a great one that everybody knows is Zillow. Number 3 is negotiate like a champ. Understand when you go into a situation where you're trying to get a property at a very low price and you have a distressed seller, you need to come in with compassion. I know that sounds weird when you're dealing in real estate. I've seen so many real estate investors go in and just try and take advantage of somebody. They feel that, they sense that, and they don't want to deal with you. But if you come in solution-oriented, where you have empathy for the person's situation, and you think, what can I do to help this individual that might be outside the norm of getting a real estate deal done, like paying for a storage unit, paying for a moving truck, maybe even paying for their first 2, 3, 4 months of rent if they have to move. If you go in with that type of mindset, you have a greater chance of getting a deal done. And the final aspect is flip it to a new buyer. You say, well, how do I find a buyer? There's 2 ways to find buyers when it comes to flipping real estate contracts. Number 1, you need to build a buyer's list. Anybody that you know that's interested in real estate, buying or selling, you need to start building a list of those individuals that when you find a property, you get it under contract, and it's at a very low price, you can shoot a text or an email out to this group and say, listen, I've got a property at this price that I'm willing to let go to somebody who's interested in it. Another way to find buyers is through Facebook Marketplace. There's very few places where I've seen better interaction and engagement on groups on Facebook that are focused around real estate, where you can put up there, I've got a property that I'm looking to assign to anybody, and here are the specs of the deal. You have those things in place, you are going to find somebody who is interested. I've seen tons of engagement on there, and I've even found properties that I've bought and properties that I've sold utilizing Facebook groups. Because here's the neat thing about Facebook, right? You can get very specific groups. If you want to find groups that are all about wholesaling, contract flipping, or just looking for good deals, those groups are out there, and they've usually got 20, 30,000 members of a group. Now that varies obviously, but even if you've got 5,000, you're getting your property that you're looking to sell in front of so many different eyes that are focused on real estate that your chances of being able to move that property goes up significantly. So make sure that you have that in place when you're looking to flip a real estate contract. Now, these are some things that I've done. I'd love your feedback to see what you've done. I have some strategies that I've utilized when it comes to buying and owning real estate. One that I love is called cash flow flipping. It is a strategy that I've come up with where you can go little to no money out of your pocket, and you can do it in any market. I am giving away my free ebook called Cash Flow Flipping. Just go to my website, cashflowflipping.com. Click on the link below. It'll take you to a website where you can download my book free of charge, no questions asked. Thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.